I told you something was going to happen. Earlier in today's video, we talked about some big moves coming for the New Orleans Saints. And what move is bigger than signing a two-time Super Bowl champion in Marquez Valdes-Scantling? The news was officially announced not too long ago, literally about 5-10 minutes ago. We hopped into the studio, me and my guy Patrick Seaman, and we wanted to give you guys the breakdown. So earlier, we broke this one down. We broke down this information that he was visiting with the team. And then, just in case you didn't know, he also was there today. He was there this morning. Things were going well, and here we are. If MVS, if things go well, he could end in New Orleans. Well, here we are. He is a New Orleans Saint, and this year he has gotten some limited run, just 6 games played for the Buffalo Bills. You saw him play a little bit. You saw him get some action and stuff. But this is a guy who you should expect to be the Rashid Shaheed replacement. And you're not going to be able to replace the speed. You're not going to be able to replace the electricity. You're not going to be able to replace how fun his name is to say. But you needed wide receivers. Chris Olave, he's still in concussion protocol. That's where you still see that asterisk. Bub Means, Mason Tipton, Cedric Wilson, Jermaine Jackson are the only wide receivers you currently have healthy on the roster. And when it comes to this wide receiver group, guys, I need you to understand something for me. There are currently 3 rookies on this roster that are wide receivers. 2 of them are undrafted free agents. 1 wide receiver on this roster, 1 pass catcher on this roster is a first-round pick. Bub Means, for the record, is the 2nd highest wide receiver drafted on the Saints roster. And he wasn't selected until number 170 overall this past season. So that's something that the New Orleans Saints need to do. They need to get more depth. They need to get talent. And that is something that Marquez Valdes-Scantling can offer. Love him or hate him, or you think he's a washed up, I don't really care. The New Orleans Saints purely needed bodies. But again, why do they need some bodies like Marquez Valdes-Scantling? Well, Rashid Shaheed's out for the season. He had meniscus surgery not too long ago, this past Thursday. Unfortunate situation, but it's the NFL. It's a next man up type of league. And with Chris Olave, he is in concussion protocol, and we actually have what the steps are to concussion protocol. And I'm going to so this is the graphic, this is the information. I'm going to break it down for you and explain it. So phase 1 is the symptom limited activity where the player is prescribed rest, limiting or, if necessary, avoiding activities both physical and cognitive. Step 2 is an aerobic exercise under direct oversight of the team's medical staff. The players should begin graduated cardiovascular exercise and may also engage in dynamic stretching and balance training. Phase 3, about halfway through, football-specific exercise. The player continues with supervised cardiovascular exercise that are increased in many mimic sports-specific activities. The 4th phase, club-based non-contact drills. And then lastly, it's football activity / clearance. And upon clearance by the club physician for full football activity involving contact, the player must be examined by the independent neurological consultant assigned to their club. If the INC, the independent neurological consultant, concurs with the club physician that the player's concussion has resolved, he may participate in the next game or practice. So going again, this is what you have to work with outside of, obviously on top of Marquez Valdes-Scantling. He has a lot of yards per catch. He's never been a guy who is super reliable as a wide receiver 1. He's not going to go up and get the 50-50 ball every time, but he's a burner. He's a deep threat, and at the end of the day, that's something that you need on this roster because Mason Tipton, Cedric Wilson, Bub Means, Jermaine Jackson did not live up to that bill on Thursday night. Now, really quick reminder, subscribe for Saints trade updates, subscribe for Saints buzz, news, rumors, everything in between. If there's a roster update, we're going to get you informed. If there's any information around the black and gold that you need to know, I'm your guy, and I'll get you guys updated. And we got more thoughts to get to here in just a second, but today's show would not be made possible if it weren't for our friends over at Prize Picks. Now, Prize Picks is my favorite daily fantasy sports app. And it's the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks makes your game viewing experience enhanced 10x at the bare minimum. If you use our code CLNS when you download the PrizePicks app, you will get $50 instantly when you play $5. So this is actually pretty good information if you're a Saints fan and you're like me and you like trying to make some money on the New Orleans Saints. PrizePicks is actually the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. So your lineup stay and play even if one of your players gets injured. So if your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, PrizePicks will keep your lineup alive. Now, if you download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS, you'll get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. So just a couple of things of information that I wanted to just share with you guys. So couple things here. First things first, Spencer Rattler will remain the starter for the Saints offense if Derek Carr cannot go this week. So you will not see Jake Haener as a starter. Dennis Allen today, specifically today, in his press conference, said that Spencer Rattler will be the starting quarterback. So for MVS, I think that he gives Spencer Rattler another player that he can throw the ball to, another target that has experience in the league, and he's won 2 Super Bowls. The past 2 seasons, maybe he's just really good at making decisions on where to play, but the past 2 seasons, he's been good, and he's won Super Bowls. And when you're an NFL player, is that not the final goal? Get a bunch of these? Kind of feels like it. And over the course of his career, he has never averaged, outside of this season where he has 2 total catches, in his entire career has never averaged less than 15 yards per catch, excluding this season, only a couple of games played, only 9 targets, and only 2 receptions. This is a player who can offer speed, he can offer athleticism, he can open up the deep element to this roster. The 2018 5th-round pick for the Green Bay Packers can offer some help to the New Orleans Saints. And when you miss out on the Devontae Adams trade, when you miss out on the Amari Cooper trade, there are things that you have to do in order to try and stay competitive. Obviously, the New Orleans Saints are in a situation where they're beat up, they're 2-5, bad coach, injured roster. I think it's a talented group, just injured group nonetheless. This is a player who I think can add some positivity to an otherwise negative situation right now. And again, I said it in my video earlier today. I actually commend Mickey Loomis and I commend Dennis Allen for not saying, you know what, we're done. We're just going to mail it in. We're going to punt on the season. It's over. It be like that. I actually commend him for trying to stay competitive. I commend them for going and adding a receiver, adding a player that can not only fill in a position of need, but can also still be a useful player whenever you get Chris Olave back on the roster. Again, feels really stupid waving A.T. Perry right now. For the record, you could go sign him off the Broncos practice squad and have him on your roster and, you know, everything's hunky-dory. But point being, the New Orleans Saints need a wide receiver help. And for Valdes-Scantling, he got his physical with the team this morning, and he does hope to get started and learn the game plan very soon. And I love Cedric Wilson. Not really. I love Mason Tipton. Love Chris Olave. That's a fact. But when Mason Tipton is getting more snaps than Cedric Wilson, nothing against Tipton. I want to be very, very clear here. There's nothing. This is not a knock on number 84. I'm actually very proud of what he's been able to do. But if he's going to be on the roster and he's going to be a starter and he's going to get more snaps than Cedric Wilson, who is the oldest player in your wide receiver group, he better be putting up some production. And he is not. He has 2-3 yet less yards than Cedric Wilson, but more snaps. I'm just kind of in the camp of right now, this team needed something. They needed somebody. They needed help. And hopefully Marquez Valdes-Scantling can offer that. If you remember just a couple of seasons ago, a couple of off seasons ago, I believe it was 2022, the Saints were actually interested in signing Marquez Valdes-Scantling when he left the Packers to go to the Chiefs. And here we are just a few years later. Maybe it's too little too late, but hey, it's a few years later. He's still a player who, at this point, is better than wide receiver 6 because you don't have a wide receiver 6. But Saints fans, like I said earlier, if you need more coverage, if you need more videos, if you want more updates, this is the channel to be at. So be sure to subscribe, lock us in, and if you made it to the end of the video, just let me know what you think about the signing. Type MVS or end of video gang, something like that. Let me know that you made it to the end of the video so that way I can give you a little extra love on our Wednesday live show. But Saints fans, thank y'all for tuning in. They have signed a 2-time Super Bowl champion added to the wide receiver group. It's Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.